Hello, everybody. Mr. Bryan with the Choose Well Program podcast, another edition. And I'm excited about this edition. This is another Q&A with Stephanie Feagin. And let me just tell you, a lot of these podcasts, we recorded the conversations a while back, months ago. And I'm going back and listening to them and making intros for them. And number one, I'm not doing that again because that's more work. But it's also good to listen to them again and hear some things that I didn't hear the first time. Sometimes you say things, you go, okay, I said what I said, and I kind of review or think about what I said a little bit more. And this is a good conversation. We talked a lot about work ethic and my work ethic, where it came from. It came from my mom. I think my mom, my grandmother, my grandfather, watching them work, and especially my mom being a single parent mom. I'll get more in that episode. You hear more of that story. But I think it's so important to have a work ethic, and I think we're missing that with our kids today. We're missing our society in general, but especially, trying to teach our kids the importance of having a work ethic. And my mom taught me by example of her work ethic. And so we're going to talk about work ethic in this episode. We're going to talk about embracing getting older, because you know what? We're all getting older, and we have a choice. You get older or you die. And actually, you don't have a choice because both of those are going to happen regardless. So we talk about that and how I'm approaching that. And we can talk about a little bit about diversity representation and it's being in a small town, where you come from and what that means. So hope you enjoy this conversation or this Q&A session. Here's some of my perspective on your questions or Stephanie's questions. Hopefully maybe they can help you as well. Because again, if you're first time to Choose Well program, we're all about Choose Well program podcast. We're all about helping schools make better cultures, one choice at a time. But also that's a part of who you are, because when you make better choices as an individual person, you will live a better life. So choose well. Let me get my son.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. For more information about what we do, visit choosewellprogram.com. Hopefully listen to this either on podcast or you watching the YouTube video. So if you are, thank you for joining us and hope you enjoy this conversation or this Q&A session with myself and Stephanie Feagin. Yeah, and you mentioned, I think there's a reward in work, and it's not always money. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what I want kids to understand. I'm going to get paid for this. There's a reward in working, and it's not always becoming a millionaire. It's something it does for you, that you become. My mom taught us that, because my mom, she didn't tell us that, but hearing her story and learning her story, she was a single parent mom, 4 kids, and she worked at the time, but someone told her, and it was true, that if she just got on welfare, she would make more money than she would working. Mm-hmm. And it was true. But she decided to continue to work, and that built a work ethic in her and in us, because we saw it. And eventually she made more money than being on welfare. But the idea that work, it wasn't just about a paycheck. It was about who she was, about dignity, about character, about perseverance. All those things you get when you work. It's not just about the dollar bill. I think it's sad so many of us sell ourselves so short just for money. Mm-hmm. We'll do a job we hate just for money, and we're dying on the inside, but we got money.
I feel lucky to get paid to do what I do.
I do too. I wish I got paid more sometime, but I do.
Yeah.
I mean, we all want that.
And then you finally get up there a little bit and you're like, oh, this is great. Oh, no, not really. Gas is $6 a gallon. And, inflation. No.
I guess my mantra when it comes to making money, I want my impact and influence to grow together. Mm-hmm. So if I'm making a whole lot of money, I'm not impacting the world, then why not? So that's not worth it to me. I'm not impacting the world in a better way, but I want to impact the world and I want to make some income, because I think with income, you can also impact the world.
Yeah,
so I think there's a balance to be had there. I'm not one of those people like, I want to be broke the rest of my life. No, I want to make an impact and make some income, because I would love, and I do support other charities, other organizations that help people all over the place. And I want to be able to give my money to that as well, and not just me making a difference myself. I don't have a written down 5-year plan or a 10-year plan.
Isn't that like what you do with a business? Don't you have like a plan on what you're supposed to do? Let me tell you, we have to do this every year with the schools, with what do we want to plan for that year.
And we probably should do that. I do have I have value statements, and I have things that I value and what I want our team to do. But ultimately, I think I want my team to grow, and I want this to be more than about me. I want my influence to outlive me, for one. Mm-hmm. So I want to build a structure and a system in place that this message can live beyond me. That would be so awesome that my videos are being played, or even the fact that I can train up other speakers to be able to do this after I'm dead, long gone. People still listen to me. So I want to build a team, and I want to impact the world. I think somebody asked me this question too. I want our videos in every school. That would every school in America, and even in Canada. I got a message from somebody over in South Africa recently watching my video.
Really?
Yeah, it was really cool. So
how exciting!
I just want to impact the world. I don't want to be famous. Kids like, how you feel about being famous, being a celebrity? I don't want that. I just want to make an impact. So if everybody doesn't know my name, that's great, but I want everybody to know to choose well. I want everybody to know when you make better choices, you will live a better life. That's what I want. And I would love that to be done in a way that, and here's the deal, I could probably go work for some big organization and make more money, but I want to make sure my values are intact. The way we treat people, the way we present things, the way, and even right now when it comes to building our team, I have people on our team who edit our videos. I could go out and hire a video production company to do our videos, but that's not building a team. That's not building people up who are making things. I got an administrator. She does a great job. We worked together for the last couple of years and just building her up and her new skills, her new abilities. And we've had people to come work for us for a season. I had students come work for us for a season. Now they're gone, but everybody's coming to work for us. I want them to leave with better skills. Like one of my friends, he came, he learned how to edit videos, taught him, he makes great videos. Now he's doing real estate. And he can use the video skills he learned to make his real estate business grow. That's a win-win for me.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want to build. I want to build an organization that's about people, helping people, growing, and reaching the world with the message, better choices, better life. So choose well.
So you don't care if people...
So choose well.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. So I don't care if people what?
You don't care if people recognize your face, recognize your name. You want people to know your message.
Yes, but I do know we live in a culture where kids do resonate with people. People connect with people.
Yeah.
So I don't mind them asking for my autograph. I'll write, choose well, whatever. I'm not signing your body parts. I'm not signing, But I know it's important to connect with somebody. Like, it's not just about, hey, the Choose Well program. They get excited about that. They get excited about a person, but at the end of the day, it's more about the message than the man. And I'm okay with that.
In this day and age, especially like where I teach, families aren't intact anymore. There's not a lot of strong men out there. A lot of time, kids don't have their dads around. They're just being raised by women. And we can even talk about race issues right now. You are this very strong Black man who has a great, wonderful message and is a great role model for especially like somebody at my school where we don't have a lot of diversity. But I love that you're out there. And these kids who don't necessarily see that, who might hear different things at home, get to experience you.
I appreciate that. And I think, and even what they see on television and what they see, and I think sometimes that is one of the draws. When I go speak at a school and kids are on the floor in the auditorium or wherever they are, I say there's kids on the floor and I'm standing up and I walk up to start and I kind of stand there, they're going, they don't know what to expect, right?
Yeah.
And that's fine. And so I'm privileged to be where I am, and I'm grateful. So, and one kid even wrote this a middle school kid wrote this in a note, like they send me notes or whatever, and they said, "Why are you here in Reading? Why are you here? Shouldn't you be in some big major city or some inner city somewhere?"
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I don't think they were being negative, like they didn't want me there, but they were like, "Wow, this just doesn't fit, right?"
Yeah.
And
it does fit.
It does fit.
You need to be here.
I'll bloom where I'm planted. I'm here for this season of my life. I don't know where I'll be next. I don't know. I had a friend who wants to move to Texas. Hey, you need to move to Houston. Well, hey, maybe that may be in the cards. It may not be. But wherever I am, I'm going to bloom where I'm planted. And I kind of tell that to kids, especially in small communities, because they're like, we're in the middle of nowhere. And they always put their hometown down. Listen, it's somewhere because you're here. And even when I went to school in Lynchfield, California, outside of Susanville, small school. A little girl said to me, "Mr. Brown, why do you come here? No one comes here." I said, "I come here because you're here.
Yeah.
You matter." And I've gone to small, and that's one thing. I'll go to small communities. Big Valley, shout out to Big Valley, very small community. You blink, you'll miss it, right? I've been to, what's one of my new favorites. These kids were so great out there. It's on the way. Burt Ranch. Oh, them my kids.
Where's that?
Yeah, exactly. Burt Ranch. Oh, y'all. Them my kids out there. I had a great time with them. It's 60 kids in the whole school, K through 8. 60 kids.
Ooh, that is tiny.
And it's in the middle of, it's between here and almost the coast. It's like past Weaverville. You just keep going. Yeah. And if you blink, you'll miss it. And I went out there, spoke, and I appreciate those. Lewiston's another one. Lewiston's on the way up to Weaverville, small community. I like all schools I go to. I'm not trying to put schools over yet, but those small schools, they have such a unique opportunity because everybody knows everybody.
Yeah. And
you can make a huge impact in that community when they all hear the same message. And so I'll go anywhere and speak. And I appreciate those schools because they look at my fee and go, okay, we'll pay it. They pay the fee. They don't ask for a bargain. Where I got huge schools. Huge schools, 1,000 kids. Oh, that's too much. Do you know the impact we're going to make on your school? I'm trying to brag on myself. I'm just looking at our experience and it makes a huge difference. And the message of the Choose Well program is bigger than me. The fact that who can you bring into your school that can speak to your kids, your teachers, your educators, all of them, your parents, everybody can get the same message. You talk about culture building, and I'm privileged to be a part of that. And I'm grateful for schools like yours where we're going to come in and do it all. I got a school in Folsom. They just called. They're like, yes, bring it all. I want you to talk to our educators, do a family night, work with our kids, posters, T-shirts. They want it all.
Nice.
And I like it because I'm not trying to say, hey, you got to do my program. No, our program comes alongside of your school. What are you already doing? So we're going to do an assessment. Hey, what are you doing already? What programs you have in place? What things you do for these people? And when I say educators, I'm a strong advocate to bring everybody in, not just teachers. Because I think as an educator, if you're the lunch lady, you're the secretary. You play a role in educating these schools, and you play a huge part of the school culture that facilitates this education. So I want to value you when we come in with this message. I worked at one school for 9 years, and had never the yard duties and the paraprofessionals had never heard me speak. Oh. Because they never come to the assemblies. They weren't at assemblies. They didn't come to the staff meeting trainings. And I worked for school for 9 years.
Just saying.
So finally we had one for just them. But it was the last year I was there, And so I really believe in the message. So, I'll go anywhere. Small school, big school, whatever. And I enjoy the fact that I get to influence wherever I go. And I go to big cities too. I go to big cities and speak as well. I went to school at 1,500 kids in the high school. So, I'll go anywhere because the message will travel, so to speak. Yeah. When we look at age in our culture, we look down on it, right? We look down on age because old people, you're old, yo. Number one, old people got a story to tell. They learned some stuff over the years. Number two, you either get old or you die. And I'm not ready to die yet, although I'm looking forward to seeing Jesus one day.
And you say all of this, and I sit here as I am this whole summer. It's like, I have 50 in a month and a half.
Congratulations. Let's celebrate. Celebrate 50. And I wasn't that way. I didn't want to tell kids, because some kids come to me and go, well, you're like 28, you're like 30. I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. But I'm going to celebrate 50. And most people won't believe me. They won't believe I'm 50.
Well, a lot of people don't necessarily believe when I tell them I'm going to be 50 in September. I just have, it's just weird. I didn't care so much about 40. I didn't care about anything, but 50 to me just has this weird, how in the heck can I be 50? How in the world? It just seems impossible.
Hey, at 50.
But I just, on one hand, I feel really good because I'm in good physical shape. I work out. I eat pretty decently. I love my life. I love what I'm doing. I have my faith. I know, I rely on that every day. My kid's doing well. I just have a good life. But that number kind of freaks me out and has been throwing me for a loop.
I'm looking forward to 70 and 80, and I play basketball with some guys like 69. They're still playing. I want to be able to be out there. They can't dunk and do stuff they used to do, but I want to be out there. So I appreciate life. I appreciate every moment. My mom passing away at 60 something. I think 64. I think she was. Just kind of wow. 40, what if I die at 64? I had a friend that died at 32. Yeah. So it's like, man, I want to appreciate every moment in life and just celebrate it. And that means I don't always tell everybody my age, but I think life is great, and let's celebrate every single day that God gives us because, I didn't deserve it, didn't earn it. Thanks again for joining us for this episode of the Choose Well Program podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. It got me reflecting on my mom and just the life that she lived and before us, in front of us, and doing her best. So I want to do my best as well. And that's why this message to me is so important, because life does come down to choices. When you make better choices, you will live a better life. And I hope this inspired you as an individual and also as a school, as a community, as a culture to make the best choices you can, to live the best life you can. Do me a favor, visit thechoosewellprogram.com. Also, leave a comment, give us a 5-star rating on your podcast app. That would help us get seen more. And if you're watching us on YouTube, like, subscribe, share. And the merch link is in the description. That's what the YouTubers say, because you can get this shirt. This is a very popular shirt. Consider others, and I'll do an episode to talk about that a little bit later. But thanks for joining us for this edition of the Choose Well Program podcast.